Welcome to the Marketing Sherpa Media Center here at IRCE. I'm Allison Banko, Marketing Sherpa reporter, joined by TJ Gentle of SmartFurniture.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Allison.
And tell us a little bit about SmartFurniture.com.
So SmartFurniture.com is an internet retailer in the furniture industry. We have been around since 2001, and the company was founded on the concept of what we call design on demand. And basically what that concept is we want to take the best that the internet has to offer and give customers the ability to go online and customize furniture in a way that suits their unique needs and preferences. Over the years, we've sort of grown from selling our own product line to most of the major furniture manufacturers in the world. And at this point, we're selling tens of thousands of products with billions of SKUs actually for those products.
Fantastic. And speaking of the furniture industry, you and I were chatting a little bit earlier. We're here at the largest e-commerce event in the world, but furniture isn't as highly represented, is that right?
That's true, and for very good reason. The furniture industry has obviously been around for a very long time, and the industry itself is very reluctant to change. There's lots of sort of channel conflict issues, but one fundamental reason that it's taken a long time for furniture to take off in e-commerce is people want to touch and feel furniture a lot of times before they buy it. And the size of the products make it very difficult logistically to move it. So it's only been in recent years, and in particular now in the first half of this year, where investment capital, private equity, venture funds are looking, saying where is growth potential? And because the furniture industry only has a 4% e-commerce saturation rate. In an $80 billion industry, there's huge growth potential. So there's actually been a pretty significant influx of cash in the first half of this year.
And you were talking about the uniqueness of the furniture industry. People really like to touch and feel the product. But SmartFurniture.com had some exciting news today about how they've sought to do personalization,
right,
and how you've sought to kind of achieve that. Tell us about that.
Well, we've been working for a while on very customer-centered, right? So the whole idea of the customization elements of what we do is to give people choices. And as we continue to grow, we realize that across all styles and price points, people have different preferences. But furniture is one of those things, just like fashion. If you go to a site and you see something that's totally off, you're going to bounce.
Right.
So what we worked on is what we call prescriptive personalization. It's basically where we take a series of questions where we ask the customer explicitly, and from those we extrapolate a lot of information that we then match product attributes to. The difference between what we're doing in personalization and what I've seen here at the conference and what I'm seeing throughout is that the traditional or the sort of standard approach to personalization is to rely solely on big data, so that you're using, one person who did this also did that. But the intervening factor that we've done that has had a real big impact for us is that we use the expertise of our staff to actually intervene between big data and the customers, so that we're actually not saying someone who bought this also did that, but we're saying someone who bought this is more likely to be happy buying this product instead of that. And when we combine big data with sort of human intuition, and it comes, manifests itself through an algorithm, but it just looks to customers like we know what they like. So we're making very intuitive recommendations, and customers are responding very well.
And you were talking about your customers answering questions for you. Is this done through a form when they first enter the site, through email? How are you doing it?
It's a good question. For us, the stats themselves were sort of overwhelming for us. Because we have such a high average order value, the conversion rate's not as high as other industries where it's smaller. But what we have found, if someone does the profile, they're converting at literally 20 times the rate. Wow. So when we saw those numbers, we thought that must be some sort of error. And after we sort of extrapolated and tested, at a minimum, we're seeing 10% or 10 times improvement. So the challenge for us is, rather than asking customers those questions, as you suggest, where it's an explicit quiz, is to find patterns in their behavior so that we can associate exactly the same profile characteristics with one customer who's done the quiz with one who may not have done the quiz but has a similar behavior. And we call that sort of an implied profile. And we're working on that now, and hopefully we'll move that lower conversion rate closer to what we're getting out of the profiled customers.
And with personalization in SmartFurniture.com's case, we're talking about product recommendations and that sort of thing?
Someone just scored a goal.
Someone just scored. But is that what we're talking about?
We're talking about product recommendations.
Yeah, product recommendations.
You know, it's where it starts, and merchandising product recommendations. It's also taken into account, you know, the messaging on the site, what styling the site has, and everything from, you know, what calls to action are being presented on the site to what emails the customer receives and what's in each of those emails. Every single profile will actually, you know, have unique quadrants on different forms or different pages that are very relevant to that particular customer profile.
Excellent. And your company has obviously experienced a lot of success using the personalization touch point. How important is it for other e-commerce marketers to really get on board with personalization? It can't be ignored anymore.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you can choose not to use personalization or wait for the technology to evolve. And in fact, we didn't want to build our own. We would have preferred someone else to build it for us. But, you know, I think each retailer has to make a decision about, you know, what is strategically important to them. And for us, we realize that we know our customers very well and we know our products very well. And what we needed was a tool that allowed us to sort of get in between those two and make the right recommendations to everyone. So really it's sort of an intuitive intelligence that we've built. I do think that as time goes on, you'll see more and more retailers build their own, but also, you know, just like with every other facet of the industry, we'll continue to see third-party service providers get better and better. And right now, you know, there are a lot of really smart data scientists out there, and it's going to take the data scientists along with lots of improvements to artificial intelligence to really improve recommendations and personalization for most customers.
Absolutely, we're going to see a lot of growth in personalization over the next couple of years for sure.
I think so, and for me, like the reason that we get so excited about it is that at Smart Furniture, we're really people pleasers. And if there's a way we can actually make people, or find a way to make more time for them, or cut out, you know, inefficiency, and give them products they love instead of just what's available, that's exciting. And you know, as this technology develops, it's going to get better and better, and we're glad to be sort of at the forefront of that.
Fantastic. TJ, thank you so much for sharing your story with us and joining us in the Media Center today.
My pleasure.
And don't forget, you can view all of our videos online at MarketingSherpa.com/IRCE.